azares del destino o no, habéis llegado hasta mí. Bienvenidos a Mundo Gamer. Habla amigo y entra.
Hola a todos, sed bienvenidos, soy Ciudadanos y bienvenidos un día más a Gothic 2 para continuar la historia donde la dejamos por última vez en la ciudad de Corinis, en el puerto de Corinis. Vamos a ver, a que pegue el pepinazo la música. Vale, como podéis ver, tengo un nuevo arco. Le he comprado el arco aquel a vos, pero al final va a tener una pequeña posibilidad en el vídeo que vamos a hacer hoy de avanzar un poco, de no quedarme muy atrás. Bien, vamos a venir... Uy, por aquí no, por aquí. Vamos a venir un momento al puerto porque vamos a hablar con la chica esta que nos hace sopa de pescado. Mire.
Look, I've got a statue of Innos for you.
Oh, thank you. Very, very much. May Innos let his light shine on you.
Yeah, never mind.
Bien, a esta tía le habían quitado una estatua de Innos.
Could you cook me some...
Nothing, kid.
Y al dársela, pues mira, 100 de experiencia así de gratis que nos llevamos. Vale. Como no quiero que se me haga de noche, vamos a dormir ahora en el hotel. Y lo que vamos a hacer es salir por la puerta cercana al hotel y tirar por arriba, por la montaña para arriba, hasta llegar a la granja de Aquil. Ahí habrá que hacer algún par de cositas. Luego, después de eso... Uy, que acabo de ver aquí, a ver. Luego, después de eso, habrá unos bandidos a los que podemos vencer y quitarles una mercancía que le han robado. Ay, qué risa, Ginebra. Que les han robado a uno de los mercaderes. Bien, pues salimos por aquí y tiramos por la derecha. Bueno, a ver, vamos a empezar primero por la izquierda, ahora que lo pienso. Porque por la izquierda está el faro de Jack, el que está en el puerto. Vamos a ver si logramos liberar el faro de Jack. Y así es una misión más que podemos entregar luego al volver. Y después tenemos para la granja de Aquil. En el vídeo de hoy trataremos básicamente del faro de Jack, la granja de Aquil y las mercancías del mercader robadas. Y creo que si me da tiempo, pues también llegaremos a una taberna que hay más adelante, antes de llegar a la granja de Onar. Bien, este es el faro de Jack. Ahí hay unos bandidos, pero son bastante duros. Así que vamos a hacer una serie de intentos a ver si los podemos matar. Bueno, después de haberlo intentado varias veces, no quiero pegarme 3 horas para intentar matarlos. Son muy duros todavía, durísimos, tanto lanzándoles hechizos como combatiendo con ellos cuerpo a cuerpo. O sea, hubo uno, solo uno, porque hay 3 creo, con el que me estuve enfrentando, solo con uno. Le paré todos los golpes que pude, le di todas las veces que pude, le quité muy poca vida, me dio él a mí una vez y me mató. O sea, no recordaba que fueran tan fuertes estos tíos. Pues con la cabeza agacha y derrotados, tenemos que retirarnos e intentar entonces ir por la granja de Aquil. Y ya si eso, cuando estemos más fuertes, tengamos mejor armadura, unos cuantos niveles más para soportar un poco los golpes que nos puedan dar, pues si eso ya intentamos lo de retomar lo de reconquistar el faro de Jack. Vale, subiendo por estas escaleras, llegamos aquí a una granja, la granja de Aquil. El cual, la primera vez que venimos, sin interactuar con nadie de la granja, nos encontramos con esta situación de aquí. Están intentando convencer a los mercenarios de que se unan a ellos y que le dejen de entregar comida a la ciudad. Le puedo robar la bolsa, a ver.
I've gotta go.
So long. Filthy thief.
No. Me hace falta más destreza. Vale.
Is there a problem?
No, everything's fine.
It would be better if you left now.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Everything's fine. I can't talk to you now.
Those are all just
Hey,
rumors.
you!
Hey, Yoko, have you lost your way?
I'm staying out of it.
Go back to your field and pull up a few turnips.
Those are all just rumors.
Hey, you!
Whatever it is that brought you here, you had better forget it and hit the road.
No idea. You tell me.
Everything all right?
As soon as anyone says anything
That's
wrong
totally
around here, the
obvious.
dance starts. So watch your step or there'll be a slaughter.
Will you join the fight?
Why haven't I heard
I'm
about
not
this
just gonna
before?
stand here when the ruckus starts, but
I'm staying out of it.
I'm not gonna push it either.
Can't go on
Vale.
like this forever.
Those cutthroats are threatening my
Don't have to
husband.
tell me that.
We are citizens of the town loyal to the king, and the mercenaries are planning to
Vale.
rob us. Now don't you just stand there, do something. Help
That was
us.
no big deal.
Creo que ha quedado claro, ¿no? Hay que echarles una manita.
As if I didn't have enough
Bien.
problems.
Yo voy a probar primero a lanzar un par de bolas de fuego que no hacen mucho daño. Pero así me las voy quitando ya.
To change about that.
I'm staying out of it.
Just you wait.
Bien. Bien.
So much for you, lowlife.
Sí, le robarán a ese, pero a este le robo yo.
Poor sucker.
No tiene
You
tampoco
didn't
tanto.
have any gold on you. I think I'd better take this weapon.
Se quedó con el mandoble, muy cabrón. Que lo podía haber vendido yo bien.
Thank Innos. I thought my time had run out. My name is Akil. I've farmed this humble piece of land.
Who were those people?
Those were mercenaries from Onar's farm. Those bastards don't know anything but plunder and murder. I'd been fearing the worst. Well, thank Innos it didn't come to that. Tell me, what can I do for you?
Bien, vamos a elegir... No hace falta el oro, tenemos bastante oro.
Nothing. Just as long as you got through this all right.
You're an exceptional fella. May Innos guard you on your way.
Vamos a ver.
Have you heard anything about missing citizens?
Don't make me laugh. Heard of them? Some of my own people are missing. Tonak and Telbor used to work on my fields until 3 days ago. And I know exactly that they wouldn't up and leave the farm just like that. And yet they've simply vanished and no one can tell me where they went. If you happen to find out what's become of them, be sure to let me know, will you?
What did the mercenaries want from you?
You don't know that? Onar, the landowner, hired them. They guard his farm and collect the rent for him. And that means they go from farm to farm and take whatever they want. And whoever can't pay gets a taste of their steel.
You know your way around this area.
Sure. What do you want to know?
Where can I find Onar's farm?
Just go back down the stone steps and follow the road to the east. At some point you come to a tavern. From there you go farther east until you come to the big fields. That's where the mercenaries hang out.
What is that tavern to the east of here?
Ask Randolph. He knows more about it than I do. He's been there a few times.
What is there in the woods behind your farm?
There's just a whole bunch of monsters back there. And the wolves are the least dangerous. A few bandits are also said to have their caves there. Well, they've left my farm alone so far.
I've gotta go.
So long. I really wish I could have done more for you.
Bueno, de momento está aquí bien. Vamos a hablar con Randolph. Randolph,
minute.
mano ligera.
Everything all right?
Yes, I'm fine. That Alvarez has become bolder and bolder lately. Good thing that's over now. What I could use now is a good drop in the tavern.
You're not from around here, right?
I come from the Southern Isles. At some point they said they needed people in Corinnes because of that magic ore. But when I got there, they had this huge barrier in place, and I didn't want to go in there, so I started working in the harbor. Well, the ships stopped coming in, and so I went to work for Akil. I've had worse jobs, actually.
You hang out in the tavern?
That's right, but not recently. I cannot afford going there anymore.
What exactly is going on there in the tavern?
There's gambling there. Two fellows compete against each other. Whoever can hold the most beer wins. In the end, I did nothing but lose, and now I need to make some more money first.
Who did you go up against?
Against Rookar, that old good-for-nothing. So far, he's beaten me every time. But somehow, I have the creeping suspicion that the filthy swine has laced my beer with gin every time. I suspect he keeps the gin hidden in that damn chest of his, that lousy scumbag. Somebody ought to sneak some plain water into his chest. Then he could lace my beer all he wants. If I only had enough money to compete against him one more time.
Le podemos ayudar con el tema ese, pero tenemos que hablar primero con el tío de la taberna. Es una misión interesante. Vale, ya hemos hablado también con este. Hablamos ahora con Katy. Vamos a ver si podemos quitar la bolsa. Bien.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Why don't you defend yourself against Onar's tyranny?
For us farmers near the city, it makes more sense to stay on the good side of the city militia than to rely on Onar's mercenaries. On the other hand, there's Bengar and Sekub who would rather give up their farms than work for the king.
Where do I find the farms of Bengar and Sekub?
They're not far from the farm where the landowner lives. Go east from here and you'll find them.
Haven't you ever considered moving away from here?
It's not easy to get away from this part of the country. All the land is walled in by a high, insurmountable chain of mountains. The only two ways out of here are the pass to the Valley of Mines and the harbor. Since we cannot afford passage on a ship, and the Valley of Mines is a place of no return, we're going to have to stay here.
What do you know about the pass?
I've never been there myself, but it must be somewhere near Bangar's farm on the high pastures.
Look out for your husband.
I shall do my best.
Bien. Lógicamente jugamos a estos juegos RPG, pero no estamos roleando. No estamos interpretando el rol de un personaje así importante. Perdón, de un personaje importante no, de meternos dentro del papel de un personaje. Porque lógicamente estaríamos haciéndolo mal. Estamos haciendo un personaje que tiene como un papel de personaje del bien, pero se dedica a robar a la gente. Sin embargo, yo trato a todos por igual, robo a todo el mundo y mato a todo el mundo, no discrimino. Bien, hay una cosita más que se puede hacer aquí. Lo que pasa es que creo que te ganas el enfado de una de las personas, pero bueno, te da experiencia y dinero. Bueno, dinero no, te da experiencia, así que vamos para allá. Vamos a guardar por si acaso.
Hey, who are you?
My name is Annam. I'm one of the field hands, and the half pint over there is my brother Ekil. We've been working here on the farm for Akil for several years.
How's the field work going?
You want to help? There's another hole back there. Grab it and then head for the field. You just have to make sure that the field raiders don't surprise you. They'll tear your arm right off with one bite.
Why don't you do anything about the field raiders?
I've killed more of them than I can count. The only problem is they keep coming back.
Vale, y al hablar con él de esto no se nos ha activado ninguna misión, por lo que de momento no hay que hacer nada.
What's up?
It's been a long time since we've seen a stranger on our land who didn't want to skin us. I hope I'm not wrong about you. I'm Egil, and the strange bird over there is my brother Annam.
How's the field work going?
Great, if those miserable field raiders weren't constantly destroying our harvest.
Why don't you do anything about the field raiders?
You're joking. Since I've been on this farm, I've killed so many of the beasts that I've lost count. But alas, new ones keep coming.
Your brother tells a similar story.
Ah, what exactly does he say?
That he has also done away with plenty of field raiders.
What? That loser can't even find his way home by himself. Tell him he shouldn't brag like that.
Y ahora la tontería esta hace que los hermanos se peleen y a lo tonto, o sea, fuera coña, se acaban matando. Uno de ellos dos muere.
Your brother thinks you're a braggart.
What? He's actually got the nerve to say that? He'd better watch out or I'll teach him a lesson. Go and tell him that.
Es que pasa tontería porque estás aquí y te empiezas a reír en plan, jaja, se están enfadando estos dos tíos que son hermanos por tonterías estúpidas.
Enemy's a bit irritated about this thing.
He shouldn't puff himself up so much, else I'll tear his head off. Tell him that.
Y estoy siendo de mensajero para contarle los recados a estos dos que son hermanos que están enfadados por una gilipollez, pero resulta que mira, fíjate.
I think the two of you should just relax.
Bastard didn't give in, am I right? I'll tear out his guts. Tell him that.
Vale. Ahora si decimos esto, pues nos vamos, pero si decimos esto, mira qué pasa. 50 de experiencia. 50 de experiencia nada más, fíjate tú qué tontería. Pero claro, ahora se matan. Uno de los dos tiene que morir. Pelea, pelea. Uf, Egil va perdiendo. Uf, Egil lo tiene difícil. Uf. Uf, Egil remonta y Egil gana.
Thanks for the gold, you hero. I think I'd better take this weapon. Wait a minute, haven't you done enough damage?
Y creo que lo mata porque... A ver. Ah, no, no lo mata. Solo le da una paliza.
Oh, my head.
Wait a minute.
Do you want to cause even more?
Mira tú qué tontería. Nada, 50 de experiencia nos llevamos por una tontería entre hermanos. Pues yo pensaba que lo mataba, no sé por qué tenía la impresión como de que lo mataba. Bueno, pues vamos de la granja de Aquil, que por cierto, vamos a ver qué hay en los cofres de la granja de Aquil. No creo que haya mucho, si ni siquiera tiene candado. Ni. Pero bueno, alguna utilidad se le podrá dar. Bien, y nos vamos ahora para la taberna. Bueno, para la taberna, si no pude vencer a los bandidos del faro de Jack, no creo yo que pueda vencer a los que hay aquí, que son los que le robaron las mercancías a uno de los mercaderes. Es que no esperaba que estuvieran tan duros. Yo no recuerdo que estuvieran tan fuertes. Es más, yo recuerdo, bueno, no sé ni qué versión de Gothic sería de la que estoy hablando, ni si de verdad era en ese momento, pero creo que incluso hasta antes de tener la armadura esta del guardia, recuerdo yo haber podido vencer a esos ladrones, pero no estoy seguro. Hostia. Haremos unos cortes a ver si nos sale esto a la primera. Bien. A ver, al final sí los pude vencer. Tiene su truco porque son muchos. Los mercenarios estos de aquí, o bandidos como se llamen, no son tan duros como los del faro, a juzgar por el daño que les causo, no por el daño que me meten, porque un crítico igualmente te destroza aunque te coja. Pero aprovechándonos un poquito de bugs del juego, como podéis ver, los he atraído hacia la piedra esa de ahí arriba. Me he ido subiendo a esa piedra y los he ido matando a flechazos desde ahí. ¿Veis? Están todos aquí muertos, disparándole flechas desde la piedra. No me han venido todos de golpe porque al final algunos consiguen subirlos muy jodidos y me acaban matando. Entonces he tenido que hacer un par de veces, ir guardando y cargando, guardando y cargando, ¿sabes? Al final los matas a todos. De lujo, porque aquí, aparte de que hay muchas cositas, recordad siempre coger hasta el agua de los floreros. Aparte de que hay aquí muchas cositas, creo que también encontré la muerte. A ver. Creo que también está la mercancía robada a, no sé si era Paltram o uno de los mercaderes esos de ahí. Vamos a ver. Vale. A ver ese cofre. Joder. He roto un montón de ganzúas, ¿eh? Pero bueno, mientras solo me quede una después, da un poco igual. No, pues parece ser que aquí no había mercancía robada. O la cogí de alguno de los tipos estos sin querer, sin darme cuenta. Pues no sé si, no sé, me da que no estaba por aquí, entonces me da que me estoy confundido, está por otro lado. Las almejas, que si las abrimos, ¿ves? Podemos conseguir perlas. Se abrieron todas. Bueno, pues se abren todas por lo visto. Las perlas son bastante valiosas. Carne de almeja, ¿vale? Perla.
Nothing there. Nothing there.
Bien.
Nothing there.
Carne de almeja y carne de almeja. Mira, aquí están las perlas. Tienen un buen valor y creo que más adelante se podría hacer algo con ellas, no lo sé. Esto creo que no se puede leer.
I can't read that.
Vale. Ya aprenderemos a leerlo. Y creo que no he cogido más nada. Así que nada, no parece haber nada por aquí. Vamos a dar la vuelta. A ver, ¿hay algo aquí? Mira, el estoque de bandidos. Vamos a dar la vuelta para bajar aquí debajo, que hay cositas y un tío con el que hablar. Bien, una vez habiendo saqueado todo esto, hablamos con este tipo de aquí, que a lo mejor es este el que tenía la mercancía, no estoy seguro. A ver. Se le podrá robar la bolsa, a ver. No. Parece ser que de robar la bolsa cuando dice que es sencillo es un intervalo también de destreza, de X a X, ¿sabes? No es a partir de este texto ya puedes robar a todos de este texto. No, algunos requieren más o menos destreza, pero el texto es una idea aproximada de la destreza que hace falta.
What's the matter?
What's the matter? Just look at that mess under the bridge over there. I haven't seen anything like it in my entire life. Those swine should be exterminated, I tell you.
What happened?
I was traveling with my helpers when those horrible brutes came jumping on my cart out of the blue and butchered everybody. I'm lucky that I still know how to dish out a decent right hook, or they would have killed me too.
Who were those people?
The bandits. Who else? They took over the bridge up there. They rob everybody who tries to pass the bridge. I knew they were lurking up there, so I passed under the bridge instead. But my cart and my goods must have been too tempting for them. Those scumbags simply jumped from the bridge directly onto my cart. I should have tried to steal past in the night.
That stuff there under the bridge is yours?
The cart, the goods, everything.
Look, I collected some of your stuff for you.
You can keep it. None of it is really of any value to me. The only thing that's irreplaceable are the 3 stone tablets they stole from me.
Stone tablets?
The water mage in town wants to buy them from me, and I promised he'd get them. I must have them back at any cost, or my reputation will be tarnished.
What would a water mage want with them?
He said he was going to study them, and asked me to bring him more.
Where did you get those stone tablets?
I found them near old buildings, such as mausoleums, or sometimes in caves. I've already sold a whole bunch of them to the water mages in town. They're pretty rare down here, though. I found most of them northeast of Corinus.
Why don't you simply go looking for new ones?
During that melee with the bandits, I sprained my ankle. I can still hobble along, but I don't want to walk very far on this foot.
Bien, podemos entregarle las tablillas y hablar un par de cositas más que puede estar interesante.
You managed to drive back the bandits?
Yes, but I'm sure they're still up there on the bridge.
Can you teach me how to hit hard like that?
Of course I can.
Show me how I can hit harder.
All right, but you'll owe me for that. Help me save my reputation and bring back my stone tablets. Then I can show you how to make better use of your strength in combat.
Vale, perfecto. Se las damos.
About those stone tablets, I've got some.
Thank you. That's enough. Now I could keep my promise to the water mage in town and then go home at last. I'll pay you for them, of course. I'm going home now. Come with me if you like. Maybe I can sell you a few things that might interest you when we get there.
Pero, a ver,
Wait a minute.
no hemos terminado de hablar.
Are you a citizen of the town?
Haven't been in ages, boy. There's no love lost between me and the corrupt swine in the upper quarter of Corinus. I used to have quite a bit of influence there, you know. But that was months ago.
Show me how I can hit harder.
Right. Pay attention. There's a simple trick. When you hit, you don't take strength from your arm, but from your entire body. Turn your hip, bring your shoulder to the front, and stretch out your arm at the same time. If you hit right, you'll notice the difference.
Bueno, más uno de fuerza, más uno de fuerza. Bien. ¿Se le puede decir otra vez?
Show me how I can hit harder.
If you want to learn more,
Ah, vale, vale. Bueno,
Show me your wares.
I can't sell you anything. Oh, I can only sell you something once.
vale, bueno, pues venga, vamos para tu casa. No sé muy bien para dónde se va exactamente, no lo recuerdo, pero bueno, hagamos un pequeño corte para no comernos todo esto y venimos ahora.
All right. So much for you, filthy beast.
What do we have here? Don't I know you from somewhere?
Who wants to know?
I'm Buster, one of Lee's mercenaries. And you had better be a little nicer to me, or I'll have your hide. All right. What do you want here?
I know Lee.
Everyone knows Lee. That doesn't mean a thing, pal. Right now, you're talking to me. So where are you headed?
That's none of your business.
Nobody talks to me like that, you worm. I think it's time to kick your butt.
¿Qué pringao? ¿Ahora qué? ¿Quién es el flipado ahora? Bueno, pues como podéis ver, aquí está la casa de Eor, ahora hablamos con él. Y este tío se ha venido aquí de flipado pensando que me podía dar una paliza. Que igual me la podía haber dado, porque mucha armadura de la milicia, pero cubre una mierda. Entonces vamos a ver ahora qué tal.
Well, we'll see the next time.
¿Qué, flipado?
All right, you're the better fighter. What do you want?
I want to find out more about the mercenaries in this region.
I can't tell you much about this region. You'd better ask the farmers. And as for us mercenaries, we have a very simple rule. If you can stand your ground, you're in. I think you're made of the right stuff to be one of us. But you shouldn't let it get to your head that you lucked out during our last fight. There are plenty of guys on the farm who are quite a bit better than I am. Sentenza, for one. He guards the entry to the farm. Whatever you do, don't pick a fight with him.
What about this Sentenza?
He'll try to squeeze some gold out of you when you come to the farm. He does that to all newcomers. And if I were you, I'd pay up. That's what I did back then. And the good thing was that he voted for me afterwards. One good turn deserves another, he said. I lost all my gold in the bargain, but it wasn't much to begin with. And I was glad of it in the end. I once watched him beat up a fellow who had decided not to pay him.
Thanks for the hint.
Indeed. Could it be worth anything to you?
Venga, vamos a darle 5 de oro.
Here you are, 5 gold pieces.
Thanks, man. Looks like I can take a few tonight after all. I won't forget this.
Can you teach me how to fight better?
I might well be able to give you a hint or two.
Vale, para mejorar armas una mano, ok. Vamos a ver si le podemos robar.
Wait a minute.
De lujo. 60 de oro. O sea, aparte de tener el inventario todo lo que tenía, tienen como un bolsillo aparte donde por lo visto ahí tienen dinerito. Este nada. Vale, entonces esta es la casa de Errol. Ok.
This here is your hut?
Yes. Why? Anything wrong with it?
Don't you have any problems with the mercenaries?
As long as I don't interfere with their business, they'll leave me alone too. Moreover, they're good customers, and I pay them to keep an eye on my house when I'm not home.
Vale.
Show me your wares.
There isn't much choice, I'm afraid.
Martillo de guerra pesado, agüita. Aquí no es como en el Gothic 1, que las armas, a lo mejor por 60 o 70 de fuerza, ya manejabas un arma de 120. Aquí no, aquí 120, 120. O sea, aquí el juego te exige que te subas más los atributos. Es una pasada. Una pasada. Mira, a lo mejor esto sí sale beneficioso. Espada corta de calidad. Por 25 de fuerza, 50 de daño. Esto sí puede salir beneficioso. Mira, esto te da 10 de fuerza. Pues también puede salir beneficioso también, sí. ¿Por qué no? Coño, mira. 20 de vida máxima por 1500 de dinero. ¿Ves? Por esto sí pago yo dinero. Por esto sí pago yo dinero. O sea, le acabo de dar me acabo de gastar un pastón ahí. Pero es que mira, o sea, ahora tengo más vida máxima. Genial. Vamos a vender aquí cositas que no usemos. Mira, ve, ya conseguí arcos. Sin embargo, el que tengo es mejor. Vamos a vender aquí. No hay mucho que vender. Esto tengo que vender solo las del puerto, más bien. Nada, bien, perfecto. Nos mandamos la poción. Que, jeje, 20 de vida máxima es 20 de vida máxima, chaval. De lujo. ¿Me costó mucho dinero? Sí. ¿Lo recuperaré? También. Aquí tenemos una hierba, una raíz de dragón, perdón, que nos aumenta más uno la fuerza. A ver si consigo aprender a hacer las pociones esas permanentes. Quiero que sea lo primero que aprenda, porque de nada sirve subirse la fuerza, la destreza y todo eso, porque, o sea, no es que no sirva de nada, es que al principio te hace falta, pero una vez que aprendas a hacer las pociones permanentes y te hagas pociones de fuerza y pociones de destreza, es que ahí vas a subir una barbaridad a la calidad del personaje. Es una pasada. Lo que no recuerdo es si en este juego habían acederas. Creo que me suena que sí. Las acederas es una hierba muy especial que crece normalmente en zonas donde hay... Tiene que ver con el tema de la muerte, ¿no? Y zonas donde hay muertos, cementerios o cosas así. Que en el Gothic 3, una poción permanente de lo que fuera, necesitabas tener una acedera para poder hacerla. Y eran difíciles de conseguir, me acuerdo yo. Bien, pues habiendo registrado todo esto, yo no sé qué fue entonces de la mercancía de Baltram. A lo mejor es que no hay que devolvérsela, a lo mejor es que simplemente pues se le perdió la mercancía y ya está. Pero vamos a hacer ahora un corte para volver a la ciudad y allí entregamos pues un par de misiones. Bueno, creo que se podrán entregar un par de misiones. Ya veremos. Bueno, no, mentira. Pospondremos nuestra vuelta a la ciudad cuando hayamos terminado con la parte de la taberna. Creo que el vídeo llegará hasta la taberna, haremos lo que haya que hacer aquí dentro y ya está. Y el próximo vídeo lo comenzaremos dentro del puerto de la ciudad de Corini, del puerto de Corini, para entregar un par de misiones y hacer con la misma un corte y dirigirnos esta vez hacia la granja de Ornar, o de Onar, como se llame. Porque hay también muchas cosas que hacer ahí que nos puede dar experiencia y subir algún nivelito más. Y porque cerca de ahí está también la entrada al Valle de las Minas, que es al fin y al cabo uno de nuestros objetivos. Como podéis ver, los bandidos del faro de Jack son bastante durísimos en comparación a los del puente, Incluso al mercenario que me enfrenté aquí al lado de la casa de Errol, que sí, era durito el tío, no me llegó a dar ningún golpe, pero le bajaba la vida, le bajaba a un nivel considerable. Sin embargo, lo del faro es que me acuerdo de que le pegué como 4 o 5 estacadas al tío y le bajó la vida lo mismo que una estacada al otro de ahí abajo, así que imagínate. Aquí podemos ver también al pirata Greg. Vamos a hablar con él.
The farmer boy. You're just in time.
What do you want from me? Are you still having problems with the city guards?
I'll give you problems, you punk. I'm looking for a fellow. He isn't anywhere to be found in the city, and these losers here don't have a clue either. He's thin, dark-haired, and he usually wears red armor. As far as I know, he used to be a prisoner in the colony. I think his name starts with a D.
That's all just gossip.
Is his name maybe Dexter?
It could be that that's his name. I'm not sure. I'll probably only know when I see him.
Anything else?
Yeah, you big mouth. Is there something else? I need weapons, I need provisions, and gold wouldn't be bad either.
Gold? We all want gold.
Could be. And what would you do with it? Drink your way through it in a tavern, or blow it in the brothel if I'm any judge.
And you have a better plan, huh?
You would crawl under a rock if you knew all I've done. So none of that cheek, or I'll shut your big mouth for you.
Didn't you find a weapons dealer in the city?
You can't be serious. They only have junk.
Weapons? The mercenaries have weapons.
Ah, interesting. I heard that the fat farmer Onar had hired the boys. Not too bad for a landlubber. Not a bad idea, but I really should pay them a visit.
Provisions? You're in a tavern.
The stupid barman won't hand anything over unless you pay him for it.
I used to say that myself.
Here's 10 gold coins.
You poor sucker. You can keep your dough. I have a better idea. There's a cave not far from here. I've been around here before and I buried my stuff in a few places. The cave is too dangerous for me alone. I want you to help me with it.
Nothing you can do about it.
Let's visit the cave.
Come with me.
Vale, la cueva a la que me va a llevar, ya sé cuál es, ya está despejada. O sea que esto es una tontería. Esto van a ser unos cortes rapidito porque tontería va nada. Venimos ahora.
All right, friend. Here's the cave. And here's a pick for you. I buried the stuff somewhere in there. X marks the spot. What are you waiting for? Go inside and get the stuff.
What about you then?
Someone has to guard our backs. And now, in you go.
Fíjate el tío, qué inteligente. Total, que nos metemos en la cueva ahora. Y por aquí hay una cuevita chiquitita que estaba llena de trasgos, ya los mata a todos. Con una X en el suelo. Que fíjate tú, 50% de posibilidades tenía de equivocarme y me equivoqué. Coño, pues me da que no me equivoqué. Ah, coño. Joder. Pues no me había equivocado.
I think I've found something.
Bien, pues cada vez que encontremos una X de estas en el suelo, se puede cavar en ellas para sacar un tesoro. Van a aparecer varias. Esto va a ser como una especie de introducción. Pertenece a la expansión este contenido, en el que Greg el pirata nos va a decir el tema de excavar tesoros, cómo va, y que descavemos un par de ellos que son suyos.
What took you so long? Found anything yet?
Yes, I dug up a small bag of gold.
Give it here.
Here you are.
Great, so they're still there. You're not all that useless after all. Okay, listen. I've buried even more. and I want you to get it for me. Let's see. There's an islet in the small lake with the 2 waterfalls. One of my caches should be there. There are 2 more spots where I buried something further up, in the high pastures. One spot is behind the farm up there, and the other one's next to the entrance to the pass by the waterfalls. There are stairs leading down from the fields of the farmer up there to those of the landowner. There's another cache in the hollow where the stairs end. I'll wait for you at the crossroads by the landowner's fields. Don't fail me. You'll regret that, Buster.
Creo que me dijo bastardo, pero aún así aquí salió que se recompensa. Bien, el tema de las X. No sé si en el mapa aparecen. No, ni tampoco sé si me ha dado un mapa con las X. Pero de todas maneras debería tenerlo aquí en las misiones, a ver. Vale. Este. Ah, no, este no. Coño. Pues ahora no sé cuál es. Este. Vale. Aquí aparece dónde están las X, ¿ok? Te dice el primero en la pequeña isla, en el lago, que sería esta isla de aquí. Vale, y así leyendo aquí sabemos dónde están las otras X. Eso lo vamos a dejar para hacerlo fuera de cámara. No tiene mucha complicación, aunque bueno, igual fuera de cámara no. Bueno, mejor, sí, mejor vamos a hacer... se me va a quedar un poco largo el vídeo, pero venga, haremos unos cortes y apareceremos directamente donde hay que hacerlo. El primero es aquí, en esta isla. No hace falta que haga corte ninguno. Llegamos aquí y en la islita esa buscamos una X. Para los otros haré un corte, apareceré ahí directamente, recogiendo lo de donde marca las X. Luego iremos a la taberna a hablar con todo el mundo y dejaremos el vídeo ahí porque si no ya se me hace demasiado largo. Esta sería la X aquí. Bien. Recordad que estamos en la isla, aquí en medio del lago, ¿ok? Bien, hacemos un corte, recogeré todo esto, hacemos un corte y vamos para la siguiente X. Vale, si nos fijamos en el mapa, en la parte sur del todo abajo donde el arbolito se ve nuestra flechita blanca, estamos en la flechita blanca nosotros, pues ahí hay otra X. Aquí cogeremos otro tesoro del pirata Gref. Además, eso no es todo. Por aquí atrás había un campamento de bandidos que ya me he encargado yo de liquidar. No sé si me quedó uno más por aquí. A ver. Sí, míralo aquí. Estos bandidos tenían prisionero a alguien. Vamos a ver quién era porque no me acuerdo. El Bridge.
The bandits are done for. You have saved my life.
Who are you?
My name is Elfridge. I come from town.
Master Thorben told me that you had disappeared.
Those lowly scum dragged me off here and were keeping me.
Vale, vale, el aprendiz del carpintero Thorben. El aprendiz de Thorben, ok.
Lots of people are missing in town.
I don't know anything about missing people. I can only tell you what happened to me.
What exactly happened to you?
I was on my way to the rendezvous I had set up with my girl. Her name is Lucia. We've been planning to get away to the mountains and away from the town and all those who live there. I had just arrived at the meeting point when suddenly some of these bandits sprang out from the underbrush and captured us both. I put up a fight, of course, but to no avail. There were just too many of them. You didn't happen to see them?
Tell me about Lucia.
A girl from the harbor district. She used to work for that horrible Bromor. She's very pretty.
What did the bandits want with you?
Sometimes I could overhear them at night. I didn't get everything, but I think they wanted to make us slaves.
Where were they going to take you?
To a place somewhere here, on the island of Corinus, but I think one can't get there without a ship. They brought me to a mooring place on the coast. Some pirates were camped out there. One of the bandits approached the pirates to negotiate. They were having a fierce argument. I think the bandit wanted the pirates to ferry him somewhere, along with me, but the pirates wouldn't have it. So the bandits withdrew, and we've been sitting around here ever since. They seemed to be rather at a loss, and then you came.
Where's the pirates' mooring place?
Not far from the harbor of Corinus. When you stand on the quay and look out to the sea, all you need to do is get a boat and go to the right along the coast. The first small bay you come across is the mooring place I was talking about.
Pirates in Corinus?
I don't know very much about them. I first clapped eyes on one of them at the mooring place. They always stay in the background. Every single one of them is a wanted criminal in Corinus. They're afraid of the gallows. That's why you're never going to meet one of them in town.
Bromore says Lucia walked off with a golden dish.
Well, if Lucia really stole from Bromore, the bandits will certainly have taken the thing from her.
Where's Lucia now?
We parted ways at the big crossroads in front of Onar's farm. The bandits dragged Lucia off to the woods behind Sekop's farm. May Innos protect her.
You should get yourself back to town in a hurry.
What else would I be doing? I'm going straight back to my master Thorben. Will you go look for the bandits?
Well, yes, I think so.
If you find Lucia, get her safely back to town, will you?
I'll see what I can do.
Bien, eso ya será una misión que dejaremos para otro vídeo. A lo tonto, este vídeo se me está haciendo muy largo. Ven, vamos a hacer un corte y vamos a la siguiente marca del tesoro. Vale, si miramos otra vez el mapa en la zona sur, vemos que un poco más arriba de la granja está la flechita blanca nuestra, la granja pequeña al lado de la grande de Onar. Y aquí es donde está la siguiente marca. Procedemos a excavar.
I think I've found something.
Bien, un último corte y vamos a la última marca. Bien, y esta sería la última marca.
I think I've found something.
Estamos aquí, al sur de la granja chiquitita donde estábamos antes. Esa sería ahora la última marca. Esto sería todo por el momento con el tema del pirata, si no recuerdo mal, vamos a ver. 1, 2, 3, 4, sí, 4 marcas. Cuando nos volvamos a encontrar le entregaremos las cosas. De momento vamos a hacer un corte ahora para ir a la taberna. No sin antes hablar con un personaje que ahora que estoy por aquí me conviene hablar con él. Que es un cazador que está aquí justo en la entrada del Valle de las Minas. Por cierto, esa es la entrada al Valle de las Minas. Este tipo creo que me puede enseñar un par de cositas sobre destripar animales.
Hey.
Vamos a ver.
You've got a lot of space up here.
It's nice enough. But if you go through the pass back there, you won't think so much longer. If this little tract of land has impressed you, then wait till you see the Valley of Mines back there.
Why are you looking so solemn?
You're wearing our aquamarine ring.
You belong to the Ring of Water?
I certainly do. Good to see a new face in our ranks.
What's your task within the Ring of Water?
I keep an eye on the entrance to the pass to see who goes in and out. Since the paladins have closed the gate to the pass, however, there hasn't been much coming and going.
Have you heard of those missing people?
Course I have. That's why we're supposed to keep our eyes open. But I haven't seen much that would give you a clue, to tell you the truth.
Who are you?
My name is Gon. I'm a hunter and work for Bengar, the farmer here on the high pastures. I spend most of my time here outside, basking in the sun.
What do I need to know about the Valley of Mines?
No idea. I've only taken a fleeting glance at the valley. Look pretty dangerous. The best thing to do if you go there, through the pass, is to stay close to the beaten track. Either you take the way through the big gorge or the road over the stone bridge. That one is shorter and safer. Now that the orcs are roaming all over the place, you have to be a bit careful. I don't want to have to drag you to the herb witch.
Herb witch?
Her name is Sagita, and she's the healer for the farmers and the other people who live outside the harbor city. A truly curious female. No one really likes going to her, and everybody enjoys gossiping about her. But if you're sick, you won't find better help than Sagita and her kitchen full of healing herbs. You'll find her in the strip of woods behind Sekub's farm.
Can you teach me about hunting?
No problem. For 100 gold coins, I can show you how to gut the animals you bring down. Pelts and other trophies bring a lot of money in the market.
Here, 100 gold coins for your expertise on gutting animals.
Thanks. Now you're talking.
What can you teach me?
That depends on what you want to know.
Bien, aquí tenemos para coger las alas de la mosca de sangre, el aguijón de mosca de sangre, las garras y los dientes. No sé si me dará para todos, pero empezaremos por garras y dientes, a ver.
Animals don't like to give up their claws. You have to place your knife very precisely. Your hand should be slightly crossed. Then you separate the claw with a powerful tug. Merchants are always eager to be paid in claws.
What can you teach me?
That depends on what you want to know. The easiest thing to take from an animal are the teeth. You move your knife around the teeth in its mouth. Then you separate them from the skull with a skillful tug. The best way to remove the wings of a blood fly is with a blow from a sharp knife, very close to the fly's body. You have to watch out you don't damage the delicate tissue of the wings. They're worthless if you don't do it carefully. These flies have a soft spot on their backs. If you press there, the stinger will be squeezed out very far, and you can detach it with your knife.
How's the hunting?
The last animal I could bring down was a large rat. Not very encouraging and bad for business. For several days now, some kind of snorting beast has been roaming the area. It not only kills everything that moves, it also interferes with my work.
What does this dangerous beast look like?
I don't know exactly. Up to now, I mostly heard grunting and scratching. But I've seen what it can do. Even wolves aren't safe from it. The beast even bit the head off of one.
How much would you pay me if I killed that beast for you?
I'd give the person who killed it everything I could spare. 30 gold pieces.
O sea, le acabo de dar 100, pero solo se puede permitir 30 al tío.
Where does this scummy beast come from?
Somewhere from outside the woods. Maybe from the Valley of Mines, but I don't know for sure. I've never been to the Valley of Mines.
What can you teach me?
At the moment, I can't teach you anything you don't know.
Vamos a ver si podemos robar su bolsa.
Wait a minute.
Y nos vamos para la taberna. Perfecto. Bien, haremos un corte ahora y para la taberna de cabeza, que se nos está alargando mucho el vídeo.
Tell me that isn't true.
Who are you?
I'm Orlan, the keeper of this here modest tavern. What are you looking for, stranger?
No idea.
Maybe a decent sword, or a good piece of armor? A good swig from the country stills, or just some information? I can give you all that and more if your coins ring.
Do you really believe that?
Am I being paranoid, or are you staring at my ring?
Well, I'm not quite sure what to make of that.
Same old thing all over again.
That was obvious all along.
Man, I belong to the Ring of Water.
Do you now?
All over again.
Hard to believe they'd pick such a moron. What do you want?
No idea. You tell me.
Do you know that fellow with the eye patch?
I've seen him here before. Nasty piece of work. Back then, he moved into one of my upstairs rooms.
along with a huge crate. He had to be constantly nagged about paying the rent for his room. And even then, he took his own sweet time about it. Then, one day, he vanished, just like that, along with the crate. I don't want anything to do with the likes of him.
Nothing you can do about it.
I'm staying out of it.
How's it going with your tavern?
Times have been better, you know. People's purses aren't as open as they used to be.
That was no big deal.
How much do you charge for a room?
For a brother of the ring? Nothing. Here's the key to the upper rooms. You pick one for yourself.
Show me your wares.
Certainly, brother of the ring.
Tell me that isn't true.
Agüita el pedazo de hacha que tiene. Bueno, por lo menos lo bueno que tiene esto es que nos podemos quedar a dormir gratis aquí. Así que perfecto. Vale. De momento creo que no me interesa más nada.
How's it going with your tavern?
Times have been people.
Vale, vale.
Can't rely on that.
Will it ever change?
A ver si podemos robarle los bolsillos a este. Perfecto.
Is the beer any good here?
It's not exactly the best, but in these bleak times, you can't be choosy.
What are you doing here?
Up until a few weeks ago, I was slaving away on the landowner's field. One day it just got too much for me, and I took myself out of there straight away. Now I'm my own boss. Everything I own is in this chest here. And that's all I need, too. Interested in a little contest?
What kind of a contest would that be?
I call it bottoms up. The rules are quite simple. We take turns ordering a tankard of the best beer the old geezer has to offer. Every tankard has to be drunk dry so that it doesn't even leave a ring if you set it on the table upside down. The last man standing wins. The loser pays the tab and a stake. Well, how about it?
Maybe some other time, when I'm not in a hurry. Could I bet on someone else, though?
Certainly. If you finally manage to find someone with the guts to go up against me, then I'll bet with you. Everybody pays the same amount into a pot. The winner gets everything. The size of the stake depends on your purse. Bring me someone who dares to go up against me and you've got a bet.
That's all just
I've got somebody who wants to compete against you.
Who might that be?
Randolph.
Randolph the Braggart. All right, why not? Send the wimp to me and the deal stands. You can pick him up again no more than 2 days later. Who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky and he'll be able to stand by then. How big is your bet?
Is it really true?
Nos lo apostamos todo porque si cambiamos del cofre la ginebra por agua, vamos, se gana sí o sí.
100.
That's what I like to hear.
You just have to listen.
I'll take your bet and hold it until the contest is over, all right?
Been there, done that.
Here's my stake.
All right. Don't take too long bringing Randolph here, you hear?
He thinks it's as easy as that.
Did anything else of interest happen?
Not that I know of. Nobody tells me anything.
It had to happen sooner or later.
Bien, ya estamos en la granja de Aquil ya. Vamos a hablar con Randolph. Ya cambiamos ya el agua por la ginebra. O sea, al revés, la ginebra por el agua.
How much money do you need for the contest?
10 gold coins.
10 monedas para ti, todo bien.
I'll give you the money to compete against Rukar.
Really? Thank you so much. I'll repay you soon. If I win, I'll even fork out a little more than that. I'll be seeing you.
Bien, y ahora él se irá para la taberna, tardará un rato en llegar. Así que de momento hasta aquí todo por hoy. Si os ha gustado el vídeo, dadle a like, suscribiros, no olvidéis compartirlo con vuestros amigos. Y nos vemos en el próximo vídeo de Gothic 2. Iremos a la taberna para la competición de Randolph y después creo que hablaremos con un par de personajes que están por los alrededores. Entregaremos el mensaje de Batras al sacerdote de Inos, que está por ahí cerca. Haremos un par de cositas, todo lo posible. Y creo que iremos a Corinis a entregar varias misiones. Y luego volveremos a la granja de Honor para empezar a hacer misiones por ahí también, que ya estaremos bastante más fuertitos ya. En fin, ya lo veremos en el próximo vídeo. Espero que os haya gustado este vídeo y hasta otra.